Hey, welcome back to Secondhand Overland. Here's my cat, eh? She's just sitting there. She's having a lot of fun these days. She likes the weeds. We gotta get this engine fired up. I want to fire this engine up on the ground. I'm certain it runs great. It needs fuel. We gotta get a battery hooked up. Some of the vacuum lines are disconnected all over the place. The throttle linkage is bent a little bit. Yeah, we'll get her sorted out. See, the throttle linkage got bent inwards, so it doesn't exactly move too well right now. It's kind of stuck. Also, I'm a little fearful about actually opening the throttle because I haven't really vacuumed that out. I should just make sure that there's no extra crap down in there. It actually looks pretty good, but it's getting later, so I can't really tell. And if you could see down there, there's a lot of crud and debris down inside the engine. We need to vacuum it out. The chain got put around the belt a long time ago and actually pulled the belt off the pulley. The fan actually has gotten bent a few times over the years. It probably needs to be a little bit straightened out as well before we actually spin it. As you can see, the air pump down there doesn't quite line up with things, and the belt has gone off of it, and it is also seized. When do you actually see one of these? You don't see these anymore. This is an actual Chrysler specific air pump for the EGR system. Only find these on Chrysler. And you find them on Fords. And guess what? They seize up on them too. Factory manifold heat shield. Big block Chrysler. Factory EGR manifolds. This is a 76 engine. This manifold as well has an EGR pipe on it, along with the weighted exhaust manifold flap. Now I believe this worked on a heat riser. I believe it was a heat riser system. It actually spins, but if you look closely, I believe that's a heat riser set up on it right there. That actually opens it once the exhaust is hot. So what it actually does is actually puts the exhaust, forces the exhaust through this tiny tube, through the EGR system, over to the other exhaust when the engine is firing up. These wires here need to be figured out. I believe some of these come from the ignition. I believe one of them is the distributor. So that should power the coil, which I believe is the gray here, or the yellow and black. This is the yellow and black, so that's the coil wire there. So we're pretty much just missing the ignition module. I think we're just going to need the ignition module to get this puppy fired up. This is the input for the fuel pump, so this is where it picks it up from the tank. Obviously mechanical force pushes it through this tube up to the carburetor. Here's our inline filter. So this is pretty straightforward. We're just going to put a tube off this into a gas can. Those two steel lines right down here, this one here and this one here, I'm not sure which. One is pressure, one is return, but these are part of the transmission lines, which basically we're just going to loop them to each other, because when we fire this up, we don't want this spraying out a ton of transmission fluid every time, everywhere. This cart you see in front of it, I'm actually wanting to use this as a engine test platform. Looks like Magic decided to come out and join us and take a seat for front row action. I dug out this old radiator. We're going to try and bolt it to this rack in front of it. We're going to put a battery on it. We'll put some gas on it. We'll get all the linkages sorted out. We'll get some power to it. Ignition module. Do something with transmission lines. Fuel line on it. Hook up battery cables from the leads. Pretty much go over the whole thing. Vacuum it up. Clean it up. Get it ready to start. Are you waiting for me to get this thing started? Yeah. I got a radiator on there sideways attached to the cart. Attach the radiator to the cart there. Got some excess pieces. We're gonna need those to hook some hoses together. And got to plug any of the vacuum lines that might have to be plugged. There's actually quite a few vacuum lines in the way here. Oh, I just broke that one off. So some of the vacuum lines are just really old and in bad shape. Should just eliminate and plug off as many of these vacuum lines as we can. Some of them are important for the carburetor, vacuum advance, which is hooked heat riser. So we'll probably just switch that to a manifold or carburetor. We gotta straighten out the throttle linkages, they're bent over. We gotta clean out all this extra garbage in here. And I should probably get some lighting on the situation. With an old engine, you want to make sure there's nothing down the bore, and it looks like there is. There's some piece of wood down there. Maybe we can suck it out with the vacuum cleaner when we go to use the vacuum cleaner on it. Yeah. Got the throttle linkages straightened out, but there's some wood down inside here. We're gonna have to vacuum this out. We gotta remove that. We'll leave that for now. Remove the vacuum lines off of it. Plug off any other vacuum lines that don't serve our purpose. This is a vacuum. This goes down to the air pump down there. There's a lot of rearranging to do. We'll come back to it once it's all sorted out. Original Chrysler hold the air fitting on their clip. I've never actually seen one of those. They're always broken. Always gone, always broken. Cool. OEM. I think we got it. Set up this little rack here to do my lighting and camera stuff. We just finished the vacuuming on the engine. Oh, magic. Hey, welcome to the party. We're gonna start this engine. Yeah, I keep saying that. Get your front row seat. Trying to get it filled up with water right now, and that tube right there is completely full of rust. That's a good view right there. So I'm going to try and continue to fill it. We'll see how much rust comes out. Oh, we got some dust come out. Let's go for more water. Still hasn't come out the top of the water pump yet. I'm hoping we can get enough level water into it so it comes out. Oh, there we go. There. Push some of that old dirt out. Oh, looks better. Good. Alright, it's holding water, so that's a good sign. None of the frost plugs are leaking out, so that's good. Oil filter is no holes in it, that's good. This is our wiring setup I got going on. So we got the start relay right here. We got our ignition box. We got our ballast. We're gonna ballast the coil out. This is actually an old A-body wiring harness, so this actually plugged into the firewall. I might have to jump something in there. But this is the wiring I had to pin over from the coil and the well, pretty much the coil. The temperature sensor, oil sensor wire is also in there, but mostly to power the coil and distributor. So that's the main thing for the wiring, coil and distributor. Got all the vacuum lines looped over, so they're all plugged off. This is actually going to the distributor. That's plugged off. This one's plugged off. That's still there for the PCV, so that's still good. So I think I got all the vacuum leaks sorted out as well. So I guess next I gotta move on to getting the transmission looped over, power steering looped over, and the gas line hooked up to it would be next. Alright, we got a button attached to it now. The engine turns over. Click of a button. We're going to start getting it turned over and start getting the oil pressure brought up, and yeah, we have an engine that turns over now. Alright, let's start bringing up the oil pressure, I guess. Here, start turning it over. Check up here for fuel. Okay, we're starting to build compression, but I don't see any oil pressure yet. Very long. Well, it's going to take a little bit to push it. I didn't check to see if it's in park or not. Looks like it is. Parked, yep, we're good. It's not pumping gas, it's just choke gas. So the bowl is not full yet, but yeah, anyways, yeah. Did we run out of power already?
See a bit of fire cranking.
Well, we got lots of gas now.
Okay, well we got a no spark condition.
No spark condition. Disconnect the coil a little bit and let it spark a bit.
Right.
Well,
I got it. Oh, want you to power it?
Yeah, power it up. All right, take 3. We got the oil. We're going to wait for the oil pressure to come up. No, we're going to get the oil pressure up. Keep going, get the oil pressure going. All right, stop. Stop.
20 pounds.
Yeah, we had 20 pounds already. Good. So let's
Any little tightening?
tighten it up a bit there. Again,
It might drip, but
just get this camera reset here for the next phase. So now we're going to sparky. So yeah, hook the power up.
and okay, you had the coil wire out. So
Okay.
get the whack.
Just so I don't get a whack off the coil wire, he unhooked it for me. So here we go. So that's hooked back up there. Now I'm going to get out of the way so I can get over to this side. And okay, this is the exciting part, guys. So we're going to get this thing fired up. We got the battery charger going.
We got their safety glass.
And we got this choked. It's, you know, just give her hell. It's stop.
Still dry.
Still dry. Okay, the bowl needs to fill. We're still filling the bowl. Well, I guess no, that it's already
sucking.
It's already sucking gas up. It's just the bowl is dry. So it did get some gas already too as well. So wonder if we should prime it. Let's prime it a bit. So I guess to prime this one, we just fill it there, or is there, or there. I think it's these. We fill these ones. One of the two. Oh well. Let's give it a splash and see if it'll fire then. That should be enough. Get that lid off there. I guess we'll get down low a little bit. All right, give her hell. Whew. All right, so okay, we definitely have fire now. Oh, hey, it's got gas. It's ready. Okay, yeah.
Let's keep it choked.
Yeah, let's let it choke.
Keep it choked.
Yeah, let's go. We've got an oil leak. Shut her down. We've got an oil leak. Woo! Yeah.
Gotta love that smell.
Yeah. Oh, it smells like 20 years ago.
Here, just capture the smoke rising.
Had good oil pressure. Freaking 60, 80 pounds oil pressure. Not bad, and it didn't leak out everywhere either, so that's was a good sign as well.
All right.
So,